Congestion is an important issue that can be most frequently we are going to find our packet switched network. Consider that data is coming from the source at variable speed. The major disadvantage of leaky bucket algorithm is that it's not possible to handle busty data. Hello friends, a warm welcome to my new session on the data link layer. I'm your Revati ma'am, faculty from the Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram, First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. In my last session, I started with network layer design issue. What are the issues we are going to face while designing network layer? Along with that, we have discussed routing algorithms as well as flooding. But in my today's session, I'm going to deal with congestion. Along with that, I'm going to deal with type of congestion. Along with that, I'm going to deal with leaky bucket algorithm as well as token bucket algorithm. So dear student, my first question here is, what is congestion? So dear student, when you're going to encounter the word called congestion, just remember that it is related to the network traffic. So dear student, if I consider our normal traffic system and imagine that we don't have any traffic system. Now, is it possible to manage the vehicle effectively? No, because at the end of the day, we are going to end our day with an accident if we don't have efficient traffic management system. Here also, if I consider network, in my network, I'm going to have the traffic. Then what is traffic? For example, think that this is my communication channel and each channel must have the capacity to transfer the data from source to destination and vice versa. When sender sends large amount of data which is larger than the capacity of the transmission media, then we are going to have the congestion. So here congestion is nothing but the network traffic. So congestion is an important issue that can be most frequently we are going to find our packet switch network. So what is packet switch network? In my network, to send the data, I'm going to divide the data into smaller packet and I'm going to send that packet to the next hop. And that is known as packet switched network. And congestion is nothing but a situation that's going to occur in our communication network in which too many packets. So here too many packets in the sense what? Here the capacity of the transmission media is lesser than the data packet. So here we are going to have the too many packets and that is present in the part of the subnet. And it is going to reduce the performance of the network or it's going to degrade the performance of the network. So what's the problem we are going to face when we are going to have the congestion? That is nothing but we are going to have the decreased performance, in the sense what? Degrades the performance of the network. So congestion in a network may occur when the load of the network is greater than the capacity of the network. So dear students, see here, I'm going to have the capacity of the network. Okay, and if I send large amount of data, then the load of the data is larger than the capacity of the data. So here load of data larger than the capacity of the network, then it is termed as congestion. So I'm going to have the load of the data is nothing but the packets, and I'm going to have the channel capacity. If I have minimum channel capacity and if I'm going to have the large number of data, then it is termed as congestion. And network congestion occurs in the case of traffic overloading. See here, this is the capacity of the network, and if I send too many packets, then what's going to happen? So it is nothing but the overloaded traffic. Now see here, congestion control refers to the situation. Till now we learned what is congestion. Then what is congestion control mechanism? To control the congestion, I must have some technique. So here congestion control refers to technique and mechanism that can either prevent the congestion and recover the congestion. When I am going to prevent the congestion, before going to happen the congestion, I am going to prevent the congestion. For example, take our traffic system. If we don't have any traffic system, then what's going to happen? We are going to have huge amount of traffic. So to control, to prevent the traffic, we are going to have traffic system. And another one, remove congestion after it has happened. If there is any traffic, then what we have to do? We have to remove the traffic. So this mechanism itself known as congestion control. So congestion control mechanisms are divided into two types. One is preventing the congestion before going to happen. Another one, removing the congestion after it happened. So here congestion controls are divided into two types. One is open loop congestion control and another one is closed loop congestion control. So these both are the mechanism or technique used to control the congestion. So what is congestion? That is simple word. It's nothing but a network traffic. So dear student, if I consider open loop congestion control, it's a policy. So I'm going to use the policy in order to prevent the congestion. So I'm going to take the steps. In the sense what? I'm going to take the precaution before going to happen the congestion. So it is just a policy and it is used to prevent the congestion before it happens. So congestion control is handled either by the source or by the destination. See here, if I consider data transmission, okay, we are going to have sender and receiver. So here the congestion control done by the sender or from the receiver. So what is open loop congestion? It is a policy used to prevent the congestion before going to happen. And what are the policy mechanism I'm going to have? That is retransmission policy, windows policy as well as acknowledgement policy. Now dear student, I'm going to have my second type, that is closed loop congestion control. So what is the meaning of closed loop congestion control? So here, as the name itself indicates that we are going to remove the congestion after it happened. So here, closed loop congestion, it is a mechanism used to remove the congestion after it happens. Okay, fine. Think that we don't have traffic management system. Okay, if there is any traffic on the road, how we are going to clear the traffic? So we are going to use some manual method. So here, see, we have traffic. Now I want to clear that traffic, right? Similarly, here also we have network traffic and I want to remove that network traffic. For that, I am going to have the closed loop congestion control. Now, to handle congestion control, we are going to have two algorithms. One is leaky bucket algorithm and another one is token bucket algorithm. So, dear student, please make a note here. From the examination section, both these algorithms are very, very important. So, you can expect either leaky bucket algorithm or token bucket algorithm. Now, dear student, I am going to have the leaky bucket algorithm. So, when I say it is leaky bucket, what are the thoughts you are going to have regarding leaky bucket algorithm? Just think that you have one bucket and you are going to have the hole on it. So, bottom of the bucket, you are going to have small hole. So, you have the bucket along with the hole and it is known as leaky bucket algorithm. Why it is called leaky? If I consider bucket and if bucket have small hole and if I pour the water, what's going to happen? It's going to leak the water. So, the rate at which the water is poured into the bucket is not fixed. See here, think that you're going to have the bucket. So, you're going to have the bucket and bottom I'm going to have small hole. Now I'm going to pour the water. So there is no fixed rate. Okay. So randomly I'm going to pour the water and can vary, but it leaks from the bucket at a constant rate. So I'm going to pour the water. There is no fixed rate to pour the water. But what about leakage? See, I have small hole. So one dip, right? I'm going to leak one dip. So this is known as leaky bucket. So thus, as long as water is present in the bucket. So see here, I'm going to pour the water and as long as I'm going to have the water in the bucket in which the water leaks does not depend on the rate at which the water is input to the bucket. So here the leakage of the water does not depends on the rate of which I'm going to pour the water on the bucket. So this rate is different and water pouring rate is also different. And if I transfer this example in terms of network traffic, see here, these waters are nothing but the packets. So I'm going to have large number of packet and I can able to transfer fixed rate of packet. For example, one after another. So dear students, see here. This is the example for leaky bucket algorithm. See, I'm going to have the bucket here. So, I'm going to have variable rate water flow. So, variable rate water flow in the sense what? It is busty data flow or burst flow. And see here, I'm going to have small hole at the bottom of the bucket. Okay, and when I start pouring the water on the bucket, it start leaking. and the rate at which it's going to leak the water, that is fixed flow or constant flow. Now what I'm going to do? I'm going to transfer this example to our congestion control. See here, I'm going to have the host system. For example, it may be sender or receiver. Okay, and this host machine is going to send the packet at variable rate. Okay, and I'm going to have the bucket, and this bucket is responsible for holding the packet. Now, see here, this bucket is responsible for transferring or forwarding the packet, and it's going to forward the packet at fixed rate. So, it is regulated flow. So, this is our leaky bucket with water, and this is the example for a leaky bucket with packet. Now, dear student, see here, when the bucket is full, okay, think that I'm going to pour the water, and when the bucket is filled, what's going to happen? It's going to start spilling. So, any additional water that enters into the bucket, see, bucket is filled, and if I start pouring the water, what's going to happen? It spills over the sides and it is lost. Even if I consider packet, and when I transfer the packet at variable rate and the size of the bucket is filled, what's going to happen? The packets are spill over. Consider that data is coming from the source at variable speed. So, data is coming from the source at variable speed, and the source sends data at 12 Mbps, so megabits per second, for 4 seconds. For 4 seconds, the source is responsible for sending 12 Mbps of data, and after 4 seconds, okay, the source is not going to send any data for 3 seconds. Now, source starts sending data again. Now, the data rate here is 10 megabits per second for 2 seconds. Okay, fine. Thus, in the time span of 9 seconds, 9 seconds, 68 MB data has been transferred. So, if I consider 4 seconds, 3 seconds and 2 seconds, I am going to have 9 seconds. In 9 seconds, okay, I am going to transfer 68 MB of data. And if I am going to have the leaky bucket algorithm, then the data flow will be 8 megabits per second for 9 seconds. So, we are going to have constant flow of data. Now, I am going to have the token bucket algorithm. See here, dear student, token ring is nothing but the token bucket. Leaky bucket is different. So, token bucket and leaky bucket both are different algorithm. So, then why I want token bucket algorithm? I know I have leaky bucket algorithm, but still, what is the need of having token bucket algorithm? So, dear student, if I consider leaky bucket algorithm, we are not able to handle large amount of data by using leaky bucket. So, we can able to handle only fixed traffic or fixed data when I have large packet. By using leaky bucket, we are not able to handle large amount of packet or busty packet. So, the leaky bucket algorithm allows only an average. So, average is what? Constant rate of data flow. So, the major disadvantage of leaky bucket algorithm is that it's not possible to handle busty data. So, a leaky bucket algorithm does not consider the idle time of the host. So, dear student, while transferring the data, if sender waits for some moment, and that is known as idle state. Okay, by using leaky bucket, we are not able to manage idle time of the host. So, dear student, let me to consider the example here. If the host was idle for 10 seconds, after that, host willing to send the data at very high speed. After another 10 seconds, the total data transferred is divided into 20 seconds. In 20 seconds, the host is idle for 10 seconds and active for 10 seconds. So, what is the time duration? It is 20 seconds. And average data rate will be maintained. The host is having no advantage of sitting idle for 10 seconds. Now, dear student, if I consider token bucket algorithm, okay, as the name itself indicates that we are going to have the token inside the bucket based on the token capacity or the number of tokens which is present in the bucket. Based on that, we are going to transfer the packet. So, dear student, to overcome the disadvantages of leaky bucket algorithm, we are going to have token bucket algorithm. It is mainly used to handle busty or large amount of data. A token bucket algorithm is a modified version of leaky bucket algorithm. It is same as leaky bucket. So, it's a modified version of leaky bucket algorithm, and it includes or it contains tokens. Instead of having packet, we are going to have the tokens. In this algorithm, tokens are generated at every clock ticks. So, dear student, if I consider clock ticks, for each and every clock tick, we are going to generate the token. For a packet can be transmitted, system must remove tokens from the bucket. For example, if sender sends the packet, then at the source, the system must capable to remove the tokens from the bucket. So, a token bucket algorithm allows idle host to accumulate credit for the future in form of token. So, dear student, to explain this concept, let me to consider this example. See here, I am going to have host computer. Okay, fine. And I am going to have the bucket. See here, I am going to have the host computer and I am going to have the bucket. Then what is the difference here? So, this is before and this is after. So, this is my network and this is also my network. This is before sending the packet and This one after sending the packet. Okay, fine. Now think that host is nothing but the sender. Over. So sender have 4 packet. Sender is going to have 4 packet. Now this token bucket algorithm is designed in such a way that it is capable to generate token for each clock tick. So here 1 token is added to the bucket at every delta t. So it's nothing but the clock ticks. Okay, fine. Now the bucket holds token. So here bucket holds the token. Oh, fine. Now this is the example after. See here. Think that the bucket holds 3 tokens. The bucket holds 3 tokens. So it's going to transfer 3 tokens. Now, if bucket holds 2 tokens, now this bucket transfers 2 more packet. Well, so this is the way we are going to manage burst or busty data or large amount of data. So dear student, from the examination point of view, leaky bucket as well as token bucket algorithms are very important. You can expect one sure question, either leaky bucket or token bucket algorithm. Anyway, dear student, let's meet in the next unit with new concept. Until that, keep watching and keep learning. Thank you.